I think I forgot to put in the supplement because I lost it, and it's somewhere. Tom was supposed to walk off and whip a bottle and break it in half of the Chango beer.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he does it in one shot, and it's great. We put the bottle, across the room, and the camera was right there in front of the bottle. He turned around, see one bottle left standing in the bar, and whip it and break it. And it's such a great shot, and Tom's just so good with a whip. And it got left out because it didn't fit into all the dialogue. He kept doing it take after take. And I went ahead and added some scenes that were cut out of the movie or just alternate takes. This right here is something, this is just a goofy thing. This is McGraw Lives. One of the takes on Pete here, I didn't call cut. I wanted just to see what would happen, have him keep talking. I wanted to see McGraw actually get his beer and leave and live in case we wanted to do a sequel or something. We could show an alternate universe of him actually getting away and living. So here we go. They're just making this dialogue up, and he takes off. See ya. Gets away, and they're all laughing. They're like, "Hey, what's going on?" This was a great. I like this scene. I was particularly proud of it because I was doing all the Steadicam work on this, and this is actually the last day of shooting. It was a difficult Steadicam shot for me because I'm not a great Steadicam guy, and I had to go all the way over and push in all the way in on his mouth, and we just didn't need the scene in the movie. The movie was too long. I wanted to cut it shorter. This comes right after the introduction of the family in the diner, before George goes back with the burgers and finds the dead body. This is what he's doing. We did about 10 takes of that. It was George just kept, forgetting that difficult dialogue line right at the end. There's some tongue twister that he forgets. And here we come into scenes that were cut out. These were just trims. Like I trimmed this part just for pace, like one of the faces of the ladies. Some more stuff of. Here's a little bit longer. This was the original cut of the throat slit. It was a little bit longer. They had me cut it for purposes of MPA, just a few frames, not cut it, just trim it. Her throwing the head. Here's who's ever there?
That's Wayne Toth, who gets his throat bit, which was nice about that because we actually had a tube in the mouth and it sprayed blood and covered the camera. That's why the lens turns red.
Right, yeah, that looked great.
That shot. This is all just more miscellaneous biting. Look at blood oozing out of everybody.
Some of these kills were really, and there's Gino
Crognoli.
He was sitting with a beautiful girl before and then turned into the mouth bitch. And she's got like a real warty tongue. Oh, there was Salma waking up and slithering away. We shot that in reverse.
Right.
Oh, there you are.
And this is my death.
Hanging out by the band like a real rock and roller. And then Salma came and sat on your lap, which you seemed to enjoy for, I guess,
of course,
shot that
a couple
for like 30
hours.
minutes.
Yeah.
And then she was supposed to turn into some creature, comes out of her mouth and bites your head off.
Everybody kept saying, "Why are you in the movie? But we never see you get killed." And I was like, "Oh, trust me, it'll be in the Laserdisc." This is just more of George just sort of bashing and killing people. But here we go.
When he got on the table, he saw this big thing. She was saying, she's like enticing him and starting to hypnotize him, whatever. And she grabs this guy. And this is an old high school gag I had in one of my old high school movies that I brought back for this, which is a giant pimple in the face. There's always a cheap reaction. All this stuff was cut just for pace purposes, which is why you see him just turn around and see Salma. What happened was originally he saw this thing, and he's just starting to freak out of all the stuff that's going on.
This was another tribute to John Carpenter and The Thing. Gino's head gets shoved in and then bitten off
in there. And
that was actually one of the first designs that you brought up to us. You brought us that little sort of gremlin creature. And
some chick with a mouth in her stomach, and I thought, this is somebody's worst nightmare, is finding a real pretty girl and then having her turn into a creature. Right then he turns around and sees Salma, so that's what happened there. Before he gets punched, that's where that fit in.
Poor Gino's
This is a great line, but this is Tom Savini had a great little piece of business there that I cut out just for pace as well, where he goes, "Let's go, stake these fuckers." And there's just some extra stuff here with them trying to put out the fire and intercut with a bat style. I had another bat sequence that I didn't have time to cut together. I never cut it because I always knew that I was going to cut it out once we had shot it and had shot the rat sequence. I knew the rat would take over the bat sequence. It's just more of a...
This is Howard getting his head bashed in even more.
This is what it originally looked like, and it was really great. Got a great reaction from the crowd, but the MPA said it was too much because they thought it was a woman with long hair. They weren't sure. They thought it was an ugly chick with a beard. He said, "Don't want to show that much violence towards women." Oh, this is the great Savini action. He had more action after this, which was... There's Wayne.
Okay, this is when all these guys are starting to come back from the dead. Norman Cabrera and Wayne Toth, who are two of the K&B guys, stand up, and they're all badass, ready to fight Savini, and he just kicks their ass.
And he says, "Goddamn fucking vampires."
Stabs Wayne.
And then Tom is always taking pictures. He loves keeping souvenirs of everything, so I had to take a picture of one of the dead bodies.
This is Brian Ray. He's another Canby guy. There's some neat stuff here. Some just sort of generic vamps getting hit in the head with arrows.
This was cool. This is right after she saved him from the rat, and gets that guy in the head. That was cool.